magic touch. Seek and you shall find me. What to do? One with the weave.
My faith will guide me.
one's stopped me yet.
Salutations.
Looking ahead. The Absolute armies are on the march, and Baldur's Gate is their target.
The curse has been lifted, the lands cleansed of the shadows. Kethric's reign of living death is over. Your courage has been tested, and in this at least, you have triumphed.
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wern's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the Flaming Fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping. Yes, sir. No, sir. Rip and cut your throat, sir.
Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the Prism Bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
I itch to peel you, to split your skin, to see your skull shine in the light. Little tyrant. Lucky for you, I harvested a whole family of living flesh in Rivington at high sun. They will sate my blade thirst tonight. Oh, but tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, my blades will thirst again.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.
There is work to do.
I've got a long road ahead.
Shadowheart has found a little bit of herself again. Selûne cannot take all of the credit. She may have lit the way, but it is the cleric who took this step. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? I've passed enough years that counting them is a waste of what remains. Which is to say, yes. I am that old. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. Then, greetings, Sir Tadpole. I was wondering where all the questions suddenly sprang from. You have enough fine young folk to run around and do your bidding. Come back when they need a rest.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey. Fine. What's on your mind? How are you holding up? All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious.
Well met.
I'm listening.
Soldier?
Painful truths have been thrust upon Shadowheart. I believe she is strong enough to endure, but her path will be easier with our support. Only by reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt. No matter how long I live, I will always strive to remain a keen pupil. Only a fool would think he could drink in all knowledge until none is left. There is always more. Nature's tapestry is infinitely complex. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Would she have helped the refugees? Defended the Grove? Controlled Korga? At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal. Given the circumstances, you're faring as well as can be expected, I suppose. What would you like to know? I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Thaniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector. I am? Trust me, it's been said. You show more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now. Who's to say? Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened. You're not a doppelganger, are you? Trying to study me to learn all my secrets so you can take my place? Save for me, my line perished a long time ago. They rest in High Forest now, near the shade of the grandfather tree. The Grove became my family, with Sylvanas as my teacher. And now I have you. I'm 350 years old. Of course there have been lovers. Just because I love nature doesn't mean I'm betrothed to it. Though sometimes nature needs reminding. Right now, I bed down alone, I'm afraid. Perhaps once I talk less of curses and parasites, my fortunes will improve. Well, I didn't pick this scar up in battle. I was in wild shape, only I forgot it was the season when bears are particularly social. A she-bear claimed me as her own and did not appreciate being spurned. I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature? I know. Well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey. I like what I like. Once you get to my age, you realize there's little point in denying yourself, so long as others aren't affected. Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks. Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks. Well, they are fierce creatures from what I understand. But as long as you avoid the high seas, I think you can consider yourself safe. Anytime. It seems like you've no root. Oakfather preserve you. What would you like to know? You're not safe for me. It was a long time ago. The wounds don't heal, but they become more bearable. The same's true of everyone, I find. Anytime.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
The gate is closed, as is Cazador. And we are no closer to knowing why that bastard is so obsessed with getting me back. I think we should track down my fellow spawn. I'm not exactly looking forward to a reunion, but perhaps they'll know something. If we can find them, we can force them to tell us what he's been doing since I was gone. And honestly, I imagine they'll be coming for me in the night if I don't. Unless Cazador has changed their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town. seeking prey. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. So, and here I was, worried I'd be the only one with a difficult family reunion waiting in the city. Ah, my...
Begone, friend. I have a darling to adore. I am free from... You must face them. Pray, ask, and I will tell.
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm honest. It's been a long century.
What's on your mind?
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With her help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. Will you liberate them from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
Hear me. Gather. The reckoning is upon us. The city thirsts for domination. March. Join power.
We're under attack. Help me. Fight your way to the portal. I need your help. Moving.
The lance board is set. Step to it.
Well, so much for peace.
fading fast. They must heal.
Onward.
Come quickly! I can't do this without you.
Incoming.
Unleash me. It shall be done.
Can't even catch my breath. Should get started.
That orb's about to explode. I speak from some experience.
I'm under attack.
A little longer now.
Hurry! I can't hold them back alone. It's not over. Come to the skull. I need you, now.
Try me.
Gone with the weave.
Put him up.
Blood comes easy these days.
It's not over. Come to the skull. The skull. Come to the skull.
A long way from Waterdeep.
Help me! me. It's not over. Come to the skull. I can't hold them off much longer.
Dum vitae est spes est. Take your... Take you.
Hurry! I can't hold them back alone.
Take you.
Still alive, so that's progress.
It's not over. Come to the skull. I need you now. Come to the skull.
Before you do anything, I am your ally. We are in danger.
Oh, shit. A mind flayer.
The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. You saved the Asima Night Soul from her soul cage. You let me live last time you were here, though it brought Blackith's wrath upon you. I told you about my room in the Elsong Tavern, that night when you helped me. I was vulnerable. You comforted me. Your continued existence as yourself, and not a mind flayer, should be all the proof you need. Now, help me.
Despite your best attempts to be subtle, the Mind Flayer's awareness is everywhere. You blunder in its presence like a walk pup learning to walk.
You must be joking. I am telling you my thoughts directly into your head. But if you insist on taking a look for yourself, be my guest.
Nothing in your colorful existence to date could have prepared you for this. As the horror subsides, you are left with only one coherent thought. You must do whatever you can to subdue the Githyanki.
Happy? Now, join me. Fight! Together, we can turn the tide.
Say bye-bye.
You've made a grave mistake.
destroy the Unending.
Need to act fast. Need everyone alive and fighting.
Take two.
Take you first.
Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer, yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
Of all the things to be indebted to, a bloody mind flayer.
You may call me the Emperor. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield, the largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence, though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while, until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call me Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Prince Orpheus, son of the first leader of the Githyanki. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Blackith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Blackith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. A very good question. One that I have been unable to answer. That Orpheus lives at all is ruinous to Blackith. She has done everything in her power to keep his existence a secret. That Gortash and the Chosen found out about it. This is impossible to explain. But it was important enough to them that Gortash sent me to retrieve it. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prison was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus and find allies in the outer world. You. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him, in defiance of their teachings. Blackith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Blackith will be finished. That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him, and in so doing, he would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion, a pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a illithid, a sworn enemy, just like me. I'm glad you think so. I agree. But there is one thing that you have that I do not. My original body was destroyed when I transformed. Yours continues to limit you. As an illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change. I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. The answer is twofold. One, I can, but it would kill you, as I told you before. Two, why would I? You have done well with the limited form you have, but you would do far better as an illithid. So, do you wish to evolve or not? You will be able to do things you never thought were possible. There will be physical alterations, of course, but only partial. You will retain most of your current form, and you will soon see that the benefits outweigh any perceived loss.
Even as you say the words, you feel a lurch of disappointment. Your mind bristles with illithid potential. How could you be so cruel as to deny yourself what you want most in the world?
I felt that. It's your nature. You cannot fight it. So embrace it. It wants to evolve, but it cannot do so alone. It must commune with another.
The tadpole screams for growth with painful intensity. It has been starved of life, of purpose. It welcomes your probing like a void waiting to be filled. If you let it, it will evolve you, just as the Emperor said. A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens, its yearning almost unbearable. Your mind is a veritable feast. The tadpole's essence courses through you. Where it touches, your flesh, glands, organs contract and flood with pure thought. You feel different. Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
You are exquisite. When your allies see what you can do, I hope you encourage them to try it for themselves. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the brain, and bring it under our control.
These things have stayed interesting.
Elminster's not around, so it might as well.
going.
My faith protects me.
Which way to the nearest library?
Still breathing, despite everything.
The orb hums with cerebral magic, permeable, impenetrable. Within it, the Githyanki prince is as silent as a corpse, but for the murmur of his powers being siphoned away.
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact, or astral prism, the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something? The powers we already received have proved useful, true. But this is something different entirely. Do you know what this entails? Well, of course you do. But I don't want that for myself. Fine. I truly hope you're right about this.
Life pulses from within. The parasite's thoughts whisper at the edge of your mind. It wants to share itself with you. It wants to be let in.
Go on. Don't be afraid. It only wants to help you evolve.
A coldness seeps through your vein. The tadpole's essence courses through you. When it touches, your flesh, glands, organs contract and flood with pure thought. You feel different. Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
Perhaps, once the others see what you can do, they will consider trying it for themselves.
Hey, soldier. I guess the vanilla-flavored tadpole... Then again, you can pull it off better than most. You've got to be kidding. You really want me to become a partial illithid? Wasn't a decade in Avernus punishment enough? Oh, I'm that easy to manipulate, am I? Where's that bloody worm? Stick it in my eye before I change my mind. Soldier? Soldier?
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting
Hey,
times.
soldier.
Such creatures are not to be trusted as a general rule, though, at best, an ally whose motivations remain shrouded in deceit. We should be wary of what such an alliance may cost us.
I can only imagine what I could do were I to adopt. Certainly doesn't seem to have done you any harm. Or rather, you've not yet done me any harm. Still, there are undoubtedly risks to such a transformation. If this is what the fates have offered to aid our cause, go ahead. I'm listening. There's shadowed in name, but no longer in spirit.
Love Shadowheart's new look. Softer, less severe. It suits her.
Your parasite communes with Lae'zel's. Her heart races as she learns of the events inside the astral prism.
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Geich visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. And even more powerful still. It said he could bring 1,000 Githyanki to their knees with one command. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our Geich slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the Archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Yes. Our current queen has claimed undeath and reigned for 1,000 years. But it was the first whom Orpheus tried to slay. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle, or so the Varshas teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant Illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. We meet Voss in the city, and we obtain the key to freeing Orpheus from his prison. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies, and the living weapon that conquered our Geich slavers. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt.
2 words and they would rage. 3 words and they would bow to the true heir. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. The Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a Geich hive mind. A talent like that makes the Prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves. Orpheus's honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son. Very well.
Be honest. What do you think of the new look? Well, I'm glad someone does. Perhaps I'll get used to it. I have a lot to get used to right now. Fine. What's on your... How are you holding up?
We must find where Gortash and Orin have established themselves, and take their nether stones.
Peers will be watching, no doubt. Waiting for my return. We should do what we can to find them. What they know could help us.
Dum vita instinct
ready and willing.
Never a dull moment.
Excuse me. I can't find my mum. And my cat is Grub. He's shy. I'm not. My mum is called Emery. She went to go get some herbs for her spots. She was sick, and she was supposed to come back the same day. That was last 10 day, though. Guards blow like petards. They don't help us. Wow. Thanks. My mum would like this. She's the best cook in the world. And she taught me too. I'll look for her. I think she'll probably come soon. Thanks a lot.
I know, little one, but you'll be in a big, cozy bed soon enough.
You have anything you want for supper. All the treats your tummy can handle.
If I hire the refugees, then I get cheap labor and they get coin. It's a good deal for everyone.
If my friend tries to get you to invest, kindly turn her down. She doesn't need the encouragement.
I'm not asking for much, just
I should arrest you all for gross negligence.
All this kerfuffle over missing redcaps. Yes, we'd caged them due to unruly behavior, but as our redcap cleaners demonstrate, most are perfectly harmless.
Keep a sharp eye out. Redcaps are on the loose. One's deemed too violent to work. And not one of these circus folk seem bothered by it.
The missing redcaps will find a stray cat or two to nibble on.
How many redcaps are missing?
The Circus of the Last Days has returned. See Dryads, Jin, and Dribbles the Clown back with a new act.
Please, go ahead of us. My son is a little nervous.
I want to see Dribbles, but I don't like the monster at the door.
Just stinks of cheese between his piggy toes.
How dare you? What in the hells is all of this?
A necessity, good sir. The Steel Watch loves pretending sweet Rivington doesn't exist. So we have decided to protect you, dear patrons. No need to thank us. You'll be allowed in once I've done this batch. Next! Hello, hello, and welcome to the Circus of the Last Days, the finest extra-planar circus there is.
A circus! Can we go?
We travel from plane to plane, thrilling all blessed to see us. From tempestuous Ginny to belligerent redcaps, you'll find them all here. But enough of this. The circus is a place of joy and distraction, so come inside and forget your worries. Not a problem, dear patron. Benji just has to check if you're a vicious murderer. Benji?
Ah! Brain juice smells like piss and iron. No like.
Oh, well, that's a first. Usually I'd allow you in, but in these times, I can take no chances. Move along. No circus for you. Oh, damned if I'm not a sucker for big eyes and a heartfelt plea. Very well. Welcome to the circus of the last days. Have fun, and be sure to catch the star of our show, Dribbles the Clown.
Did you see that bloody ghoul at the entrance? Sniffing us of all things. What kind of circus is this?
No like you.
Great. Another bloody outsider. You lot are coming out of the walls, aren't you?
I'm not supposed to talk to outsiders.
Best stick to the refugee camp, outsider. Where you belong.
They're damn near chomping at the bit. What's the plan?
Refugees traveling.
What in the hells was that?
Whatever it is doesn't bode well.
Clear off! There's nothing in these caravans for you.
Didn't whatever birthed you tell you not to stare?
The place was empty. Keep those thugs away from my family.
Danuvia! Get these spotters out of my house now!
Arthur, sweetheart, you paid me and my boys to be caravan guards, not cattle wranglers. If you want us to get our hands dirty, it'd be our pleasure. But that'll be extra.
This is my home. I may pride myself on my philanthropy, but I draw the line at being a halfway house. Zenobia and I are just navigating a slight contractual disagreement. Not that it's any of your concern. Agreement? Why should I negotiate with the vermin who've stolen my house? I've got nothing to say to them. You don't exactly look desperate for gold, but I can't help but admire such solid business acumen. Very well. Get the job done, and you'll be paid and be in my good graces.
Do you think you're clever coming in and undercutting us, sweetheart? We were about to make a bit of extra cash before you butted in. You owe the guild a cut.
The Guild, a loose coalition unifying every criminal outfit in the city under one collective rule, from cut purses to contract killers.
I think you're overestimating your abilities somewhat. But I haven't got time for this. Come on, boys. We've got places to be.
You see, those animals are out of the picture. Can we stay now? Or are you going to turn us next? Make it quick if you can. I don't like the way he's looking.
Heartless scum. I'm a reasonable woman. We could easily work something out in a house this big.
I bet I could hit that fancy one right on the nose. Pow!
Bet I can crack that open.
Does he think we've gotten this?
This'll be fun.
Step carefully. There's a trap.
Trap.
Be wary. This place is trapped.
This'll be fun.
Trap. Be cautious.
place is hungry for blood.
A nasty surprise. Caution is warranted here.
Might be worth checking Arthur's donations. Looks like his generosity's compromised.
I'm sure this toy will be finished soon if they bear with it.
I'll give it a shot. Trap. Be cautious. I doubt a bear this size went down without a fight.
Best avoid that trap.
Step carefully. There's a trap. I bet that'll fit in my pack.
Hot foot. Place is trapped.
I bet I could hit.
Not everyone subscribes to what is mine is yours, it seems.
What's the word? Can we stay? Same way lots of us did. If you had the chance to put a roof over your family's heads after being on the run for Torm knows how long, wouldn't you? Make it quick if you...
All's well that ends well, eh? I'm sure the guild will be in touch with any concerns. Sinister? Ha 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 ha! Nonsense! Those are experimental toys. guaranteed to bring a smile to the face of even the unhappiest child. They're extremely precious, and you shouldn't be poking around in my workshop and tampering with them. Keep it together, Arthur. There's no evidence that links this back to you. And you definitely locked the basement before you left. What? No, wait!
Not everyone subscribes.
What's the word? Can we stay? If you make it quick.
All's well that ends well, eh? I'm sure the guild will be in... They're extremely precious. And you shouldn't be poking around in my workshop and tampering with them. Keep it together, Arthur. There's no evidence that links this back to you. Really? There's no this? And nothing to get to the bottom of?
What do you get out of this?
You again. Did you need something? But you said you'd get rid of them. And I believed you. More fool me. Well, with Zenobia and the others gone, I don't suppose you'll take no for an answer. All right, they can stay. Are you happy now? Now I have to figure out what I'm going to do. A room can wait. After what you've put me through, I need a drink.
Does he think we've gotten this far?
Not quite sure why you stood up for us like that, but I won't say I'm not grateful. Thanks. And may Torm keep you. We're much more interested in the beds and the pantry. I don't like... At least we'll have some peace now.
If If I was a Sharan lookout, this is the sort of place I'd wait around.
Something over there.
That's why we need to walk just a little more. 1 foot in front of... We told our son that this is a holiday to spare him the truth. We don't have homes to go back to.
Can't talk. I'm sorry. The little one needs all of my attention.
Do you know where we're going? What kind of inn is it?
Welcome to Rivington. South, Coast Way. North, Worms Crossing.
You see the city? Up on the hill.
Turn back, citizen. No passage in this direction. It's bloodier than a butcher's backyard out there. Piles of dead absolutists, and a few of our own as well. The cultists assaulted the gate, armed to the teeth trying to break in. They nearly had it too, before the Steel Watch intervened. A little more than that. You'll see for yourself soon enough if you head to the city. I appreciate...
No passage this way, I'm afraid. Turn back.